do a video. Got my tea. Got my... Where's my snacks? Who ate my snacks? Is it you? Damn tiger. But anyway, let's get to this. Alright, we'll try not to make this too long and we'll intertwine it with my Fusuma doors. I'm repairing them, I'm putting new paper on, I'm doing it myself, I'm learning for the first time. So we'll show pictures of that as we're going along to make this a little bit more interesting. The house price, 4.5 million yen, not dollars, yen. All right, so that wasn't too bad for us. That was our budget. Well, we're going to 5 million yen, so we fit it into our budget. We wanted to spend maybe a little bit more on a house because we wanted this house to be not total doer-upper, just a starter for us, a project to do. It was originally listed at 4.8 and they reduced it because nobody was buying it. So we went 4.5, good. So that was a pretty good price. We would like something cheaper and fully renovated. That's not going to happen. It would be nice though, depending on what you get. I think you can get more renovated and cheaper, but it's probably going to be a small little unit or something, a 1 or 2 bedroom. Fees, you have to pay fees no matter where you are in the world. When you buy a house, you're going to pay fees of some sort, aren't you? Something you just have to put up with. The scrivener, okay, the scrivener for us was 300,000, so that would be for Australian dollars, $3,000. That is not all scriveners. I've heard of some costing 1,000, some costing 2, but ours cost 3. You just have to put up with what you're provided really and who's doing the work. Agent fees. These days there is a general, I think, level of a starter fee, which is 330,000 yen. Australian dollars down below. Depending, if you look on real estate sites, you will see different fees. Some even say no agent fees. Okay, so it really just depends. But the general amount, I think these days is that price. Other fees we had to put up with, you have to put, stamp duty, things like that, but they are quite minimal. I think maybe just over $100 for stamp duty, and there was something else, but they were minimal. Okay, these are my Fusuma doors in my tatami room. They're a bit old and tarnished, so I thought I'd want to change the front paper at least. The back paper I'm not too worried about, I can't see it. But I really would like some pretty pictures instead of just plain white paper. I took the wooden parts off the doors and then the door handles. They're just put in there by nails. And then I ripped the front paper off. Now this was actually a second layer of paper that was already original and it's already been changed before. And then I got this new paper, something that I liked with trees on and a bit of nature. And there's also a little pagoda there, which I really like. I tried different methods and this is my first door. But what happened was ultimately I changed to this. Okay, I've decided to do this in a different way now. I've put it up like this. The problem here is not going to be a problem anymore. I'm going to glue this edge and I'm just going to glue along the edges this time. I'm not going to glue at the front. The video I watched on YouTube, the man glued at the front and stuck that down and then glued on the sides. So I did the same. It didn't really work out that brilliant. It's not horrible, but this time, just along the edge, see how we go. But I'm just going to do one bit at a time. This, that, and then the 2 sides. did work out much better. Alright, I need a break now, so I've gone to my local park. I like to get out every day and go for a walk. It's important for my health and for my mind. So this is Sugimura. This is a park down the road from me. It's an absolutely beautiful park, and I would recommend that you come here during spring. This park and the local temple has a huge amount of flowers. But today, there's a chrysanthemum show, and I thought I'd come down and have a little bit of a look. It's not in full bloom yet, so I'll be back and then checking it out during the week. Doesn't, well, you can't really see the faults. Right, would I do this again? Yes, absolutely. I've learnt I have to do that door over there. That's not done yet. That's just going to be plain paper. But I watched the video and the man put glue along the edges here. So that's what I did. No, you just put glue down the edge. That's what I did for that door. And then on this door you can't see this glue effect here. But I do it again. What's actually better, this paper is not tight. I don't know how they get it tight. Professional people, I don't know. Maybe then. This is the thing. You do have paper that's iron-on paper, so I would get that next time. It's fine as it is for now. I might take it down and iron it, put some fabric over it and iron it and see how it goes. But I like it regardless. I gave it a go. Do I recommend you give it a go? Absolutely. You can't learn anything new. You can't learn how to do things differently if you are too afraid to give things a go. Right? So, and I learned not to do it that way. And hopefully the next door is going to be even better because I'm learning as I'm going. Eventually, this paper is not that expensive, so I don't mind having the thought of doing it again. Until next time. Okay, notary, a JP kind of person, all right? So as an Australian, you got to, well, we all have to have affidavits, right? Proving our identity, where we're from, this sort of thing. And we went to the Australian consulate when we first got here. They said, we don't do that, you have to go back to Australia. That is, of course, not true. We could go on the MyGov site and print out a affidavit from there. That is free from the MyGov website. But Hashimoto, the city office in there, did not accept that. The scrivener accepted it, but Hashimoto did not. But we still used it because what we actually had to do was go to the JP person, the notary public, and they had to witness and sign it. So then we got to use it. So that was, I think, an extra $110, which is not too bad. you just put up with these extra fees. It's not that much of a big deal. Now, acquisition tax. Acquisition tax you pay, it could be 6 months, 12 months. I've even heard of 2 years after the purchase of the property. Ours came in, well, we got a letter in the mail 4 months afterwards. We got back, it was in the mail, and it was just a letter stating that we had to go into the office. We had to declare how we were going to do this, how we're going to pay it. We had to have a tax rep. The thing is, you do not have to have a tax rep. If you're going to be living in Japan, or for us, it's 3 months at a time. So 6 months throughout the year, we're going to be here. If we can be here to pay our tax bill, then we can pay it ourselves. So the acquisition tax came in it didn't come in the mail. They hand delivered it to us. Okay, one was the house tax and one was the land tax. 550 and 650, so 2 bills. We took them to the conveni and we paid them with cash. Simple. If you are outside of Japan, you cannot, they will send your bills probably to the other country, and I have heard of that. Someone got that done, but the problem is you cannot pay those bills from another country or with a credit card or anything. You have to be in Japan to pay those bills. So if you're going to get them sent to your home country and then you go, oh, I'll fly to Japan now, fine, to pay them. But other than that, you need a tax rep. If you're not going to be in the country, you need a tax rep. You need somebody to pay your bills. It's quite simple. But because we are going to be here to pay them, we can do it ourselves. Hashimoto does it once a year. They send out the tax bill once a year. We know what that time is, and we know that we're going to be here at that time to pay it. That's property tax. Well, that's the acquisition tax, and that's property tax as well. So it comes out for us once a year. Different areas is going to be different. So you have to find out in your area when they send out the bill. It might be in, and I've heard of this, okay, I read this on a website from Hokkaido. So they will send out a bill for your property tax. So you'll get the whole year bill, but they'll also send out 4 payment slips. So you can actually pay it 4 times a year. If you don't want to pay that 4 times a year, you just want to pay it straight up, then you pay it straight up once a year, and you can be here to do that. But I don't know if that is all over Japan. Every area is different, and you have to find out what your requirements are when you buy your house. That's just how it rolls. All right, down to the bills. Okay, what are our monthly costs so far? Electricity, gas, and water. So the electricity, we have an online account. You can sign up online. Very simple, very easy. Not that simple and easy to sign up. It wasn't too bad. You just have to translate with your phone while you're looking at the computer. But every single month at the same time, I look onto my account, I see how much I have to pay, and then I make sure I have enough in my Wise account to pay for that. Last month's bill was $38 Australian. Okay, so for the whole month. You get a bill every single month. They don't send out a bill in the mail if you've got an online account. They don't even send you an email. You just have to check online. Gas. Okay, our gas account also comes out through the Wise card, but initially we actually used our Australian credit card, just another one, just a normal Qantas card actually, and that was fine, it worked, but we had to change that credit card because it was hacked. And so I just got online and I filled in all my new credit card details and pressed enter. Done. Solved. No issues with the gas. Our highest gas bill has been, I think it's 16 to 18 Australian dollars. That's it. So that's not too bad so far. Will it get more? I don't know. We don't tend to do anything other than water. And yeah, water. That's what we use the gas for. Oh, and the stove. So we'll see. Water bill, every single month, it's 34 Australian dollars. It's something like 33.40 or something every single month. You pay for water, you pay for sewage connection, and That's it, $34 a month. Now that might be just because we don't use excess water. Maybe if you use excess water, you get charged more. But so far, our bill every single month for water is $34. We just leave the water on when we're not here and we still get charged. You don't have to do that. You can actually get your water cut off, and when you return, you get it put back on again. That is an option we're looking at, but I don't know. We left for 4 months last time, and when we got back, we had 3 water bills in the mail. Went to the conveni, paid the water bills because you cannot do it online. Still to this day, if you're a Japanese resident, you can get it direct debited out of your account, but everybody else, you still just have to go to the conveni and pay it. And yeah, so I paid 3 bills. Then I got a letter in the mail stating I hadn't paid one of my water bills, and I thought, where is it? I don't have it. I couldn't find it. I looked through everything, could not find another bill. And so I had to go into the water department and say, I don't have this bill. Can I pay it now? They just printed out another bill and I paid it. No issues. The only issue is you can't pay it like the other bills because it would be so much easier. Maybe one day that will change, but for now, it's still the case that you can't. And you can't pay it from another country. That's just how it is. One way you can look at paying your bills if you're not going to be here all the time or you're worried about that sort of stuff, the water bill, your tax, your property tax, is you can get management companies to look after that for you. You can give them your information, you can send your bills to them, and they will pay your bills. For us, that's really not an option we're looking for because we only have to pay our property tax once a year. So I don't want to pay somebody a monthly fee so they can pay my bill once a year. I don't see that as making any sense. I'd rather be here at that time of the year and just pay it myself. That's the easy option. But those options are out there, and I'll put a couple of, in the description, I will put a couple of places that you can actually go and look, and people offer these services. Now there's 2 other things, house insurance and car. Okay, house insurance, you may want to get one of these property management people that I put down below to look at this for you, to do it for you. It's not as easy as everything else, getting house insurance, and you really have to look at and make sure you get the house insurance that you need. You get online. I got online and did it myself. It was strenuous because the website that I went to, if you changed it to English, the website wouldn't work properly. So I had to keep it on Japanese. I had to get my phone there and translate and do it as you're going along. And then it had an expiry time. So if you weren't fast enough, it would go, well, you have to start again. That's why it was so strenuous. Get someone to help you. I think one of the places I put down below, they do it for $50 US. So that's, compared to your stress, that's a pretty cheap price. Depending on what you want in your insurance is how it's going to cost. Earthquake, we've got earthquake. Fire insurance, we don't have tsunami because we're up here on a hill far away. So hopefully it won't happen. But earthquake and fire, things like that. And it's going to depend on, of course, the insurance company as well, their fees. I think between $60 and $70 a month is what ours costs. So that's not too bad for peace of mind, and we don't have to think about things when we're away. It's, it's all looked after. Car. Can you buy a car in Japan if you are not a permanent resident? Absolutely, 100%. Yes, there are many services for buying cars here. Some people just buy cars and get them imported to their home country. So you can buy a car as a foreigner. As a tourist, if you come here and you buy a car and you just want to drive around in it, I'm not so sure about that. I don't think that is a thing because you need a house. We have a house, we have a driveway, we've got somewhere to park our car so we can buy a car. It is possible. Have we bought one? No, because we have all these questions. Do we want to buy a car, use it for 3 months, and then just leave it sitting for 3 months? Are we going to get back the battery's going to be flat, the tyres might be flat. Do we want the extra costs of a car sitting here for 6 months, a year, doing nothing? Do we actually need a car? When we get back, we can hire one for a week, sort ourselves out, and it's fairly cheap and reasonable to hire a car here. We're going to hire one a week before we go, so we can go up north a bit. And I think for a week it's just about $300. So when I do that, I will show you the amount and we'll put all that in there. So that's not too bad a price just to hire a car for a week and to get your things done and to sort yourself out. I would like a car all the time, but it's not always practical. So you've got to think about those things. All right, I'll leave that there for now. I will maybe doing another video at some point if you're interested in how I found a house, the things that I went through, and I can list a whole lot of different things for that to help you out. I'm not going to put that in this video because I don't want it to be too long. I did actually release another video with this, but it was like half an hour long, and I went, that's just too much. I don't even want to watch that. So I'm redoing this with my Fusuma doors. So I hope this helped you just a little bit or gave you some idea. If you've got any questions, put them down below. I will see if I can answer them. I'm happy to help anybody who really wants to buy a house here, because it is an opportunity, especially if you come from a country like me where things are so expensive. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.